Saudi Arabia's largest pharmaceutical retail chain sets its IPO price at the top of the range, and Tecom Group is reportedly prepping for its IPO. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi Arabia's largest pharmacy retail chain has set the final offer price for its listing at the top end of a planned range. Nahdi Medical says it will sell shares at $34.92 apiece now that the institutional part of the offering is finished. At that price, the company is set to raise $1.36 billion with a 3-day subscription period for individual investors starting on March 13th. Tecom Group is reportedly holding meetings with select investors after lining up banks to help arrange a potential listing in Dubai. The meetings that started last week were the first of a series of planned engagements with investors ahead of the potential listing. Tecom hosts 10 large business complexes and the headquarters of more than 5,600 companies in the UAE. The Giving Movement, a UAE-based sustainable e-commerce brand, has raised $15 million in its Series A funding round led by Knuru Capital with the participation of other investors. The Giving Movement says the fund will be used to support its expansion in the GCC and international markets. A drone attack on an oil refinery in Riyadh caused a small fire but no disruption to supplies or derivatives and no injuries or deaths. Officials say the act of sabotage and terrorism follows a series of similar attacks on Saudi facilities by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels. Brent oil prices have seesawed between $105 and $139 in extreme volatility this week. India's Cairn Oil and Gas, a unit of Vedanta, will spend up to $4 billion over the next 3 years to more than triple its production. India's biggest non-state producer plans to drill more wells to explore new oil and gas reserves across its 51 blocks in the country. Officials say they aim to reach 500,000 production and will invest heavily in exploration over the next few years to reach these levels. Russia is imposing an export ban on more than 200 products. The restrictions cover items previously imported into Russia, from medical equipment to agricultural machinery. Energy and raw materials aren't included in the ban. Russian officials say the measure is necessary to maintain stability on the Russian market. The ban applies until the end of this year. The EU has raised its investment pledge in Morocco over the next 7 years to $9.24 billion, a phenomenal rise from the $1.8 billion announced by the EU last month. The revised investment will not only support the country's renewable energy plans and provide financing for SMEs to support their digital transition, but also aid in job creation, access to fresh water, and sustainable agriculture. Two aviation trade bodies have urged governments to lift COVID-19 restrictions on European flights. The International Air Transport Association, along with Airports Council International Europe, reportedly said air transport should lift pandemic-related restrictions since European countries are removing restrictions such as wearing masks or presenting proof of vaccination in public spaces. The IATA represents 290 airlines, which it says comprises 83% of global air traffic. ICI Europe represents over 500 airports in 46 European countries, handling more than 90% of commercial air traffic. EU antitrust regulators have opened an investigation into Google and Facebook's online display advertising services deal to check if it violates the bloc's competition rules. The European Commission says the investigation will focus on a 2018 deal between Facebook and Google dubbed Jedi Blue. It may thwart ad tech rivals and restrict competition. Via the so-called Jedi Blue agreement between Google and Meta, a competing technology to Google's open bidding may have been targeted with the aim to weaken it and excluded from the market for displaying ads on publisher websites and apps. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.